let's fast forward 10 years. I mean, are we there in 10 years where Bitcoin can be seen by most as a reasonable store of value? I mean, I would assume that the way things are going, we are probably going to continue to grow at least folks who see the merits of cryptocurrencies in whatever shape or form. I mean, there's going to be, I think, continued adoption, albeit probably somewhat slowly for the masses. But I mean, at some point or another, maybe we do get there. It's not to say we would never get
There you go, trying to bait me again.
there.
Um, no, I don't. I think it's a mistake for anybody to think of it as a given that we are eventually going to get to mass adoption of cryptocurrencies. That's still very up in the air at this point.
Yeah.
Um, During some of our Bitcoin Day interviews, one of our experts that I interviewed, I'm not sure which one off the top of my head, but one of them referred to what's going on right now as an inflection point, where we're either going to see Bitcoin kind of accelerate into mass adoption or not. Um, it it's not going to keep going at its current pace, where you're going to have 10 to 20% adoption. That subset of the population just believes in Bitcoin forever. You're either going to see it really start gaining traction or go the other way.
Yeah.
I really think it's a very binary outcome. Um, I personally don't think it's going to get there. I'm very skeptical of the long-term use case of Bitcoin. Ethereum is where, when you hear about all these projects being done on the blockchain and things like that, and, like Mastercard and Visa and all these other fintechs have their own blockchain divisions and are developing blockchain finance programs and things like that. Generally, that's on the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah.
So I could see that having more staying power than Bitcoin, but I really don't think you're going to see Bitcoin become a mainstream currency. I just don't. Um, I, I I like the concept. I like the technology. I've mined Bitcoin. I've used Bitcoin. I lived off Bitcoin for a day in Las Vegas just to see if I could do it. So like I said, I say this with peace and love. I just don't see it getting there.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you, but by the same token, I've learned as an investor. I mean, it's just one of the things I've just learned is you just always keep an open mind. I am going to keep an open mind to it. It doesn't mean
Sure.
I'm interested in it. I don't care about it. I still don't see the use case for it. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I also wouldn't be surprised at all if 10 years from now, maybe we did see some sort of change in the mentality or some material use cases for it and other cryptos. It's just going to be an interesting story to follow. There's no question about it. But
Sure. And I mean, if you and I are wrong and it does gain mass adoption, in 10 years, Bitcoin could be $1 million.
oh yeah,
My
especially I mean with a
prediction,
finite supply of them. I mean that it absolutely could be.
my prediction is that in 10 years, Bitcoin will either be over $500,000 or under $1,000. Nowhere in
Wow.
the middle.
All right.
Where
Well,
I'm either going to be really right or really wrong. I don't see it kind of, I mean, say what you will, over the past 10 years of Bitcoin's existence, it hasn't done a lot of just kind of puttering along. It's either gone up or straight up or straight down. So if the past 10 years continues, Bitcoin's $1 million in 10 years. But
yeah.
if interest can really evaporate quickly if it doesn't pan out. So like I said, I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be really high or really low.
Yeah, I think that interest is going to be key. I mean, if it's something like 20% of the population right now has dabbled a toe in the crypto space, we're going to need to obviously have a lot more than that to create the ongoing interest. Otherwise, you're right, it will have a hard time.